Hello there, welcome. This is going to be something different that we usually do. This will be a kind of live commentary of a replay, because this is a very interesting battle that occurred in Tier 10, and I think it kind of highlights some of the decisions that should be made during the battle, and also how those decisions kind of impact the outcomes of the battle. And also, in addition to that, it also highlights just how unpredictable the outcome of each battle is. I know there's some of you that will kind of give up halfway through the battle where they think the game is lost. And I would say that there's always a chance something is going to go your way. There's always a chance that you can win the game, or at least swing the odds of winning in your favor by just doing a series of smart decisions. So, with that out of the way, let's kind of get into this. I don't have a particular script for this. I do just have some ideas, and I wanted to do this as quickly as possible while my memory of this battle was still live. So let's pause for a little bit and take stock of what's happening. So myself, I'm in my E5. I have my platoon mates in an E4 and in Centurion Action X. So we're in Erlenberg, also known as Campenberg, and we will just attempt to go to kind of the one of the two directions that the spawn can go. Either try to hog the hill or go towards the castle and try to haul there. So it's pretty standard layout. We can easily see that our team did not send too many things our way, but it's a fairly even spread, so there's no obvious weakness quite yet. We know there's no arty, and there's only 2 tank destroyers, so it's actually going to be a pretty brawly game, which is great, because as we all know, recently this game has become kind of World of Tank Destroyers, where you can have 7 or 8 tank destroyers per team. So, some initial exchanges, as we can see. So we see a T-58, we notice Grill 15, there's a 50B there, M60. So we see that there's going to be quite a few things for us to take care of. And again, with no RD and a few TDs, so I'm kind of looking forward to this battle, because again, this means that heavy tanks can actually do heavy tank things like get up close and personal, shoot, you know, aim for the weak spots, all the good heavy tank stuff. A bounce off M60, which is something that doesn't happen too often. And then I see, of course, there is a F-8250B that's going to be a problem for me, because he'll just be side scraping, and it's too dangerous for me to poke, and there's quite a few things kind of behind them. So here, this is where I think decision number 1 is, okay, I see there's 215B, there's a 60B behind him on the hill. There's now, I believe, what did we spot? I believe that's an E3, one of the two. Let's actually go into free cam. Yeah, so now we see there's E3 on their team. He is in the perfect E3 position. This is as good as it gets for this tank, or any kind of hull down tank. This is where you want to be. And there's no RD on enemy team. You can just prevent my team from kind of doing anything of value, or at least going around this corner. And it also basically shuts down any kind of this direction or any aggressive pushes here, so that's a very dangerous position. So how do you counterplay this? Well, since it's in E3, you really can't do anything to him from the front. Premium or no premium, that doesn't matter. The best case of action when you kind of encounter an insurmountable obstacle is not to go at it, because that's what they want. They want you to try to tackle them and they just shoot you. What you want to do is go around it. You want to go leave, to go in another direction, contest the other direction, because that will force that E3, hopefully, to move from that position. If he's not getting any shots, he's not getting anything done, he will, most people, and will move on to another position, which is good, because any movement out of advantageous position is good for us. So let's keep going and see what happens next. So me and this 215 are exchanging shots. I noticed the E3, and I decided that I really don't want to pick that 215B anymore because he is spotted. We also have spotted most of their team, and so my platoon is kind of sitting down, hull down. There's an E4. E4 lost a lot of health early on. My Centurion friend is hull down and holding the line, and at this point I just noticed that the enemy platoon of really good clan chain, they're on every side, so they're going to be an issue. So this is where I'm like, we have to hold on. We have to wait for them to come out. We cannot contest them on that corner. That's why I moved back to this position, which is a better defensible position. And my job is now to do as much damage as possible, try to bait the enemy platoon out so that my guys, my platoon mates can actually do something to them. But for now, this is a very dangerous spot for our team, because situationally, like, we know where all of their enemies are. They are focused on us, and we're just hoping that we're buying enough time for the rest of our team to make their way through the castle and hopefully kind of help us out on this direction, because all of the attention of the enemies are now focused directly on us on this direction. But the thing is, we are not very well armored. Other than E4 and myself, there's really no armor to hold them back. So if all of the enemy team pushes on us, we will just die. So this is a precarious position. This is where it could have easily gone wrong, where they would have just rushed all at once. But the thing is, they still haven't quite discovered the rest of our team. They don't know that the rest of our team is in castle, so they're playing it cautious. So you have to use the enemy cautiousness against them, and you have to kind of pretend that there's more friendly tanks behind you than there are, so that, you know, you can live longer, you can do more damage. At least that's how I try to play, and you don't always get to do this. But yeah, basically just early on in these kind of situations, you have to assess constantly and be like, hey, there's no point in me going around that corner. I'm just gonna die to the hull down 8-3 and the 10 other tanks they have there. I have to bait them out. I have to get them to come out of their good spots, and then fight them on kind of a ground that is advantageous to you. So for this position, this ground is advantageous to me because I'm kind of held down, and the only thing that the enemies have to shoot at is my cupola. And you know, so it's still a risky proposition, but at least I'm giving myself more of a fighting chance if I was fighting them on that corner. So we were able to get rid of the 215B, but we lost our 277 unfortunately because he just drove out. I don't know why he did that in front of a full health SD2 and E3. So this is where I'm like, okay, if that SD2 pushes, I cannot hold them in that corner myself. So I decided to kind of roll around to a position where I can be a little bit safer. And again, by my presence, I'm beating the enemies out. Like, hey, if you want to get me, SD2, you're going to have to come around that corner. And hopefully where my friends can shoot you. So, looking just shots for opportunity, while I'm kind of distancing myself from the SD2 situation. Trying to shoot their 50B, their T-58. We have this light tank kind of YOLOing, and their other light tank is driving around as well. So this is where the situation gets really kind of tricky. We're losing tanks left and right. I'm able to get a lucky break and shoot the T-breaker. But we can see now, if we return to the station, that there's now a Restaurante, the clan mate or platoon mate of the SC2. They have come out around the corner because they feel like they have the advantage and in numbers and in health, and they do. And so they are trying to push forward, press their advantage, which is the right thing to do. You have to press your advantage when you know that the enemy is outgunned and outnumbered and they don't have a lot of health. You have to do that, because if you give more time to your enemies, they will potentially recover, they might win another direction. So this is what they should be doing actually. This is the correct play. I'm still trying to get some lucky shots on maybe T-58, 50B. I noticed there's 4202. So their team is playing very defensively. This is a very difficult position to assault. So I turn around to now again try to deal with the SD2 situation and the rinoceronte. They are now very aggressively trying to push up into our E4 and the Centurion. There's a replay bug where it's not showing you all my friends. But you can see there's a lucky shot that E4 did. Sorry. This replay mode is just terrible. Yeah, sorry. Just want to show you what happened. So after I take a couple of shots, I turn around to now deal with Rinoceronte and SD2. And the enemy team is now pushing full force into our direction. The SD2 is challenging. I put a shot into SD2 to remind them that I'm still here and I'm watching him. And then a light tank kind of comes along and tries to shoot me. He puts one into me. But then on E4 puts a full HE shot into him. An amazing shot and clutch. And I was able to get rid of that LT. That was definitely going to make my life a living hell. So we're still in a decent position because we're kind of hull down. They can only again see just my cupola. And now I see there's E5, Rinoceronte, and SD2 trying to assault my friendly's position. And again, that's a good shot as they're trying to snipe. They're trying to snipe my position. Again, we have the E4 here, CAX, and we're holding down against the full health SD2 still. We have an E5. E3 is still in his hold down position. We'll come back to him later. So even though things were kind of looking dire for a little bit, the enemy team, our friendlies are still trying to push across the river into their spawn. So now the enemy team have to again focus the direction or their attention in two different directions, not just one. So this means, what this actually meant is that these guys are trying to push into us. They're not being supported by all of these tanks. They're now looking onto the approaching friendly. So that took some pressure off of us. And it means it's 3v3. It's CAX, E4, and myself in E5 versus an SD2, an E5, and also a Rinoceronte. So let's see how this plays out, because again, the few correct decisions that I've made so far was just kind of moving away from the direct confrontation on that corner, because I would have died, moving away and baiting them out, and also again trying to look for shots of opportunity on these directions to try to help my team who was advancing into this into their spawn. So let's see how the rest of this battle plays out. We have kind of reset. We're still down, but now this is going to be a heavy brawl, and I'm trying to again looking for shots of opportunity on SD2. My friends are hauling down on that hill. The E4 CAX. I see that their E5 was being too aggressive and pushing up to the hill. He forgot that I exist, so I'm trying to shoot him, prevent him from getting my friends out of their very good position, and I get E5 out of the game as well. So all this time, I know I don't have the voice recording from my clan, from platoon mates, but I was just telling them, hey, hold on, they are the ones that are now under pressure. Sit tight, look for shots of opportunity. So we're just trying to slow down the battle and again give our team as much time as possible to do what they need to do on the other side. And we can see that we actually made it across the river and we're capping. So again, this SD2 is in a difficult position because he's kind of between a rock and a hard place. There's two hull down tanks on the other side. He's trying to shoot me. I'm trying to wheel my turret to make it harder for him. SD2, not known for amazing accuracy, and the shells fly pretty slow, so it's hard for him to snipe me. And you can see that the CAX is putting shots into the SD2, distracting him from me. He still is able to put a shot into me. So anytime that a CAX shoots him, the SD2, I'm trying to get shots into him or into that Rinoceronte. Again, preventing them from assaulting our positions, getting our tanks out of their good positions. And it's amazing what happens in this game where you can actually play positional battles, and the battles are slow because there's no RD. Because no way any of us can be doing this if there was RD and it was just like getting us out of the positions. RD is terrible, RD ruins any strategy that this game has. So anyways, we're still in kind of a Mexican standoff here. Now we have an advantage in numbers and health because Rhinoceronte is feeling the heat for me. And then of course we got SC2 down to pretty low health. I take unfortunately way too many shots from Rhinoceronte. I thought he was unloaded. So that's kind of like a big mistake for me, is that I shouldn't have let him put me down to one-shot territory. So this is where we reset and we spot the E3. He's still in his hold-on spot. But as you can see, he is now looking at the position towards the friendlies that are now kind of approaching their base. So now a series of events will happen. I think we got really excited as a platoon that we were able to pull this off in this kind of standoff, and so we started rushing forward. This again is totally understandable, total human moment, but you should never completely like go full, kind of lose your head. We kept our cool for 10 minutes of this battle. We should have kept our cool further and reassess our situation. Like, okay, what do we know? Where is everything else? How much health does everyone else on their team have? So, but we kind of like, oh, hell yeah, we won. Those guys, they tried to rush us and they failed. So in this kind of, let's say, adrenaline-filled moment, we kind of rush into to try to secure the win. And then our Centurion is now engaging with Grill. Grill is out of position, which is great. Grill bounces off Centurion, which is even better. E4 finishes the Grill. Great, things are going our way. But then, again, we forget about things that exist. I rush way too forward, and this is make a cardinal mistake. I let the 50B shoot me. A 50B that had 1 health left, he shot me even though I was paying attention to the bat chat. We will come back to the bat chat later. I also low rolled the bat chat, so it was unfortunate. And another thing happened is that our Centurion forgot that 50B exists also, and he decided to rush the E3 to get on my position, which is the correct choice, but he definitely forgot that 50B exists. And so 50B put him down to very little health, and he also killed his crew, and E3 also like just was again way too good of a position. And so we went from having a full health Centurion axe to no Centurion axe, and now again the game is unclear. There's no clear victor. Our IS-4 is being shot by Batchat, who he can't see. E3 again is in a very good position for himself. Great positioning by this guy, even though he's also definitely taken a ton of damage. Can't really trust the replay, so I don't actually know what actually was damage on this. But we can see that IS-4 is not having a good time on our team. He can't see the Batchat. He doesn't know where he is. So I just and the replay mode is really bad. You can see it's glitching out completely, so you can don't pay any attention to this. But yeah, IS-4 is going to try to chase the Batchat around. E3 is still holding pretty. He's holding against our tanks. We see the 50B on the enemy team says. So our E4 is trying to salvage the situation. We have a T-62A that is being chased by 50B. And we have an E4. He's trying to kill the 50B. He misses. And then he forgets that E3 is still sitting there. And he lets himself get killed. So now we have, through a series of unfortunate kind of miscalculations and taking too many risks in a crucial battle, we left our IS-4, who has no commander. We let our IS-4 try to win this game. And this is where, unfortunately, we were, we've done all we can. We did really good first half of the battle, but the other half of the battle, we made serious mistakes. And again, there's no situation under which no one makes any mistakes in a battle, but it's just doing the right decisions at the right time, minimizing your mistakes. It's not about playing perfect, but it's about the balance of good decisions to bad decisions. This IS-4, again, you can see that he has no commander, but he's just, by the power of his tank and the power of RNG, he's able to bounce a 50B shot and an E3 shot, and he's just YOLOing with full heat at this E3, and E3 bounces another shot, again shooting at the side. But this is what happens. E3 got out of the position that was very beneficial to him, and this is immediately he's paying for being out of position. And IS-4 is unfortunately able to out DPM him and out circle him. So remember what I said earlier about RNG and things happen that you will never predict. No one could have ever predicted this outcome. That despite everything, all the bullshit that happened in this battle, all the correct decisions on the bad decisions, it will come down to two pretty mediocre players just trading shots and bouncing. You can see that Batch had about 10-1, and he only needed to kill one. He only needed to do one shot of damage, and he keeps bouncing off this IS-4. And he keeps bouncing, and IS-4 keeps just shooting without really aiming. Keeps driving at him. Not much else he can do, but basically they're both one-shottable. Batchat again misses. IS-4 fires like an idiot while being tracked, so no accuracy chances there. So they're both just doing dumb things. Batchat is playing very conservatively, even though he was playing really well most of the game. I guess he's gonna go and reload. But we know that our friend IS-4 does not have a commander, so he likely doesn't have any sixth sense or spotting range, so this Batchat will outspot him any time of the day, any time. So the only thing this Batchat has to do is drive behind this IS-4 and then shoot him in the back. He has 5 chances to pan him in the rear. So the rest of the game is not going to be very interesting. It's going to be these two idiots just trying to find each other. We can see the time is running out. We can also see that enemy Batchat trying to get to our cap, but he realized he doesn't have enough time to cap, so he stopped capping. And our IS-4 just decided that it's not worth chasing Batchat, which is correct choice. He actually correctly angles his tank in the most advantageous position, so that's smart enough. But just the last remaining seconds of this battle, we were just praying that this IS-4 doesn't get shot and die. But long story short, you can't see the health bars of the teams, but our team had 2% health left, their team had 1% health left, and this basically resulted in our victory. I will now try to show the scoreboard. I'm not actually sure if we're able to see the scoreboard of an old battle. But I believe it was something like 7,000 damage for me, 5,000 damage for Cax on my platoon, and another 5,000 damage for the E4. So we did our part in damage. We just unfortunately, no one's going to play perfect, but there's just going to be a series of decisions that will decide the outcome of battle. So my recommendation at any given point is to reassess, keep yourself safe, do damage if opportunities arise. If you're safe but you're not doing damage, you should relocate to a better position where you have more opportunities to do damage. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful or interesting to someone. I just thought this battle was kind of a highlight of both well played, great plays by our team, great plays by enemy team, correct decisions. It was also a game that was decided by not tank destroyers, even though we did the one A3 did really well. But it was a medium and heavy brawl at the end. again, which is rare. So yeah, it was just an interesting battle, and I hope you guys enjoyed the replay. Again, unfortunately, our replay system is so bad that I can't even show you the end game screen. But it is what it is. It's the best we can do, given the technology available to us. Let's see if I can re-download it. I think at least the MVP screen you can probably get to from here. Let's just skip to all the way. Everything happens, things blow up. Again, let's is it gonna show us the MVP screen at least? No. Okay. Well, that's all about that I wanted to show. Again, I wish I had the ability to... I will upload a screenshot of the battle and kind of the end result to this video as well. Yeah, but thank you for watching.